We would go through a report that we put together at the Dorado County Transportation Commission where I work. It's our project monitoring report. We do this sort of quarterly, every 3 to 4 months, depending on whether we have a commission meeting or not. Project in here is a state transportation improvement program project. It is the US 50 operational improvements in Placerville. So that essentially, to sort of capture the gist of the project, it is to install an auxiliary lane on the eastbound side of US 50. So heading towards Tahoe, there will be one additional lane on the right hand side. It's currently paved, you probably noticed that, not open yet. And then another component of the project is to connect Placerville Drive with Main Street, which is now done and it's open in the eastbound direction. Bigger components to the project are the new bike and pedestrian overcrossing at Bedford, and then improvements of the bridges at Canal, Bedford, and Spring Street. So those 3 bridges will actually be widened, so there'll be 3 lanes as opposed to what there formerly was, which is 2. So they are intending to improve the signal timing, so we do expect to see some benefit from that in terms of, throughput on US 50. The project we're going to talk about is the Western Placerville Interchanges project, and that is essentially a interchange located at Placerville Drive, Forney Road. It's kind of right over here. That intersection, there's Fair Lane is there as well. And that also, part of the project is at this Ray Lawyer Drive overcrossing here to add on-ramps to 50 there, on and off ramps.
Really?
Yeah, so this is another really big project. The intent of the project is to improve the traffic flow at the intersection, facilitate, a lot of the traffic that comes in and out of this Government Center each day. So that's kind of the point of the project. The location, where this project's at, is there has been a completed project report, which is one of the necessary steps. There's an environmental document's been complete, and there's a project report that's complete. You have to have a project report to really program any kind of big money to the project, like state transportation improvement program funding. There's projects that have to improve air quality. It's a roundabout on Main Street in Placerville at the Cedar Ravine intersection. So there's also a road that comes in there, it's Clay Street, and Clay would be realigned with Cedar Ravine and essentially through the Ivy House parking lot there, and then there would be a roundabout there. And the reason why a roundabout improves air quality is because you don't have the queuing of stop traffic at the intersection, so it allows cars to really move through more continually, and that actually does result in an improvement in air quality. So that's one that's proposed. It's in the early design phase right now. Essentially, it's they're completing environmental. We call it project approval and environmental document. So that
the first project that I'm working on is that I'll talk about is the Missouri Flat Interchange project, and I'm sure everybody's seen all the construction going on out there. And that project is divided into 2 phases, much like Jerry was mentioning with the Western Placerville Interchange project. This one's been chunked into 2 phases. The first phase is 1A, and that's the putting in the new bridge over Highway 50, and that'll be completed in August. And then the rest of that is widening of the lanes across the bridge and working on the interchange, most specifically the eastbound on-ramp to Highway 50. There's widening there by Perks Court, and the ultimate design, that Phase 1A is due to be complete by October. The bridge work is due to be complete in August, and it's 10 a.m. August 28th, the Missouri Flat opening of the bridge. The ribbon cutting ceremony is going to happen, so if anybody wants to go out there, that's when the merchants and supervisors and various county officials will be out there to celebrate the opening of that. The merchants are really looking forward to getting the bridge opened up again and functioning. There may still be some last-minute construction details that need to be done, like striping of the pavement out there. It may not all be all the way completed by the ribbon cutting date, but the main construction of the bridge, I mean, it'll be open for traffic both ways. But they'll have probably a couple of little things. It's kind of like when you buy a house and, you know, there's always some little trim work or something that needs to be done. So that'll happen in August. Phase 1B will begin construction in the summer of 2009. And what that project is going to do is, the big part of it is going to widen the Weber Creek bridges to 3 lanes, and there's going to be some seismic retrofitting that goes on with both of those bridges to bring them up to seismic standards for California. And in both eastbound and westbound directions, there's going to be an auxiliary lane. So if you come onto Missouri Flat heading eastbound US 50, and you just want to get off at Placerville Drive, you can just stay in that auxiliary lane, never have to merge with the through traffic, and get off there. Likewise, if you're going westbound, you know, the merge down here, it's pretty exciting, so to speak. So you won't have to merge with that traffic. You can just stay in the auxiliary lane and have a much safer way to get to Missouri Flat. So that'll go to construction in the summer of 2009. That project's fully funded and ready to go. There are 3 phases with that project. Phase 1 will go to construction December 2008, and it will take HOV lanes, extend them. Right now the HOV lanes kind of end right about the county line, Sacramento, El Dorado County, and it's going to pick up the HOV lane and take it all the way through El Dorado Hills to the Bass Lake grade. And including in that will be basically from the overcrossing Latrobe Road, El Dorado Hills Boulevard, the truck lane drops right there. And so we're going to extend the truck lane from there all the way to the base of Bass Lake Road to close that 1 mile gap in the truck climbing lane. And phase 2 will take the HOV lane up to Ponderosa Road, and that will start as soon as phase 1 is finished, and then phase 3 will go from Ponderosa Road to Greenstone Road. So, and there's also interchange improvements at the El Dorado Hills Latrobe Road, the undercrossing there. And eventually there'll be a bike pedestrian overcrossing there, and that's currently in its environmental documentation phase. So its construction program funds have not been programmed to that project yet. So in the meantime, anybody that wants to ride a bike between like the town center and underneath the bridge, it'll just be with through traffic. But eventually there's going to be a really cool bike pedestrian overcrossing, much like the one up here at Smith Flat over US 50. The SPTC bike path project out here, it'll pick up right out here by Ray Lawyer and Forney Road and follow the old Sacramento Placerville Transportation Corridor Railroad corridor out to Missouri Flat Road. It's about 2.7 miles, and with the help of Carolyn Craig and Environmental Management, they were one of the partners in the project that provided grant money. And that grant money, I think it was $187,000, was the county was able then to take that grant money and use it as match money for much larger federal and state grants that totaled about $1.6 million. And it's an exciting project. If you ever have a chance to go out and walk that section of the trail, it's going to cross the old Weber Creek Trestle Bridge, and that bridge is about 300 or 400 feet over Weber Creek. And what's going to happen out there is there'll be an 8-foot wide asphalt Class 1 bike path with up to 2 feet shoulders on each side. If there's more room, they'll put 4 foot wide shoulders on each side. So it'll be open to bikers, pedestrians, and equestrians. And the bridge will have new decking put across it with about a 5-foot high railing, And halfway out on the bridge, there's going to be some 10-foot bump outs with some chairs and benches and a table. So if you want to go out and just enjoy the view from the middle of the bridge, we'll be out there.